Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrahli sadri ve yessirli emri vahlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve cealli veziran min ehli Harun ahi iştud bihi ezri ve eşrikhu fi emri key nusebbihake kesira ve nezkurake kesira inneke kunte bina basira la havle ve la kuvvete illa billahil aliyyil azim. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amen. Last week we studied the verse 8. And let me go back to verse 8. And we discussed that everybody is given the capacity to carry the trust which is put in us by God, by our Creator. So this trust, as we understand it in general, the spirit, in the language of the Quran, ruh. So this spirit has all the qualities of God manifested, reflected in it, so that we can use this reflected, manifested qualities to understand who our Creator is and how we can communicate with Him. Of course, we are going to do it within this world. So our communication means the tool is the spirit, but the means is our relationship between the universe. So while we are looking at the universe, interacting with the pieces of the universe, the things in that, and also experiencing our feelings, emotional or otherwise, whatever, the feelings that we just recognize that there are interesting, enormous things, miraculous things are going on within ourselves and in the creation of the universe. So through this communication, we receive all the results of recognition of our Creator from our recognition of our Creator, again, originated by our Creator. So we said, in this sense, everybody is a messenger. It means with a minuscule, a lowercase m, messenger. It means receiving the message from God and communicating with it through our fellow friends, human beings, and also in our relationship with the universe. So when we see something interesting, attracts my attention, we will say, you are the witness of your Creator as to be most merciful, most powerful, most knowledgeable, most wise, etc. So we will carry the message within ourselves, in our consciousness, in our relationship with the universe, and also as a human being within our social structure, where we have other people. We will say, of course, I will say, I really enjoyed my dinner today. No, we will communicate the message there because we are messengers. What should I say? I was satisfied with my merciful God, the Creator, my owner, my Malik, my Rabb. I am very pleased that He is very merciful to me. He nourishes me. He provides everything what I need. I really enjoy it today. Not that I am full. What does it mean? Well, I am full. Yeah, your body is full. How about your messenger side? Is it full? So we said we should understand this reality through the teachings of, again, this verse 7, وَأَوْحَيْنَا, which means, uh, sorry, وَأَوْحَيْنَا, which means we revealed. We, if you like, sent down, gave revelation. Revelation. Wahy? أوحى, to deliver the message, to deliver the wahy, revelation. We revealed to Musa's mother. Now, this is what we covered last week. So let's come now to this week's subject. It is interesting that, of course, the instructions, the method of teaching the Quran, it uses a lot of ways of communication, a lot of ways of literature. For example, now, in the form of a parable, in the form of a story which happened in the past, so that the story is not important, but the message within the story is important. So whatever I need for my own guidance, for my own benefit, to understand how can I behave, how can I see myself, how can I evaluate my existence, how can I benefit from it, and which kind of conclusion I should reach. So we have to read this kind of parables, stories, allegories, whatever the ways of communication. Mostly the Quran speaks with figurative language, in the form of story of the prophet's the experience of the previous prophets. It means ideal types in representing every aspect of human life. Ideal types. Oh, but we don't talk about the historical reality of them. Why? Why should I say it is Moses didn't exist? There must be some case that this human being has experienced in his life, and the one who created this human being knows what's going on and conveyed his life experience, some instances of his life experience to me, so that these instances are directly related to you. So what shall I do? Shall I lose myself who Moses was? No, I would lose myself in the message. Never talk about the reality of the event. No one can deny it. We cannot reach out that time. No one can prove it. Again, we cannot reach out the time of Moses, which is not known. The Creator has not clarified it because it is not the point. Don't talk about it. So Moses was a prophet. Yeah, maybe, of course, the Quran says it's a good habit, best habit. He represented the best example for human beings. So appreciate it. Why not? But use it for your own purpose. Here, again, I am doing some technical. Small, my hand touches the screen and then it disappears. Okay. Now, قالت امرأة فرعون. Now, the narration goes on. Fir'aun's wife said, he will be a comfort to me and you. لي ولك قرة عين لي ولك. Now it is obvious that he's speaking to his wife, husband. He said, don't kill him. Nah, let's not kill him. He may be of use to us. Yeah. ولا تقتلوه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذ ولدا, or that we may adopt him as a son. وهم لا يشعرون, without knowing what they are really doing. Now, they were not aware of what they are doing now. What does it mean? Of course, we established this as a principle while we are studying the prophetic stories. Who was Pharaoh? None of my business. A symbol of a person who represents or symbolizes. Pharaoh means really icon of tyranny in the Quran. Okay. Wife said what we read here. Let's not kill him. Yeah, but let's adopt him. He may benefit us. He may, or we can take it as our son. What's happening here? Do you think, and then they are not aware of it. It means we have been given some instinctive tendencies. Are we aware of them? No, we just use it. We just use it. Typical example, if you see a baby on the street, what do? Smile at him. Is it possible not to smile at him or her, the baby? And if the baby makes some sort of small gestures and laughs and maybe waves you and said, hi, how are you? Something like that. And you say, oh, hi. Do you feel that I was killing? No. But Pharaoh represents the most horrible person who is misusing his spirit in the worst way, because everybody is given free will. So I am able to misuse it or use it in the right way, the way it is created for. But this man, it represents the 100% bad man. Almost 100. Let's put it for a caution. There is something happened at the end. 99% is a bad man. I mean, no one can be really 100% bad, but it is the, how do you say, idol of this bad man. So his wife is not that bad or not that on the same line. She has another feeling, but we will understand that Pharaoh will agree with his wife. Why? Without being aware of it. For example, now let's take an example of a person. It's an imaginary person. We don't know who he is, definitely, who is married and received a baby. Do they love the baby? Wife and husband. Let's say they are atheists. They don't believe anything at all. No sacred things. No sacred understanding. Everything is natural. They are blank atheists. Assume that. What do they do with the baby? They take care of the baby. They feed the baby. They arrange their life according to the needs of the baby. Don't they? That's what we are experiencing in the world. Exceptional cases are complete corrupted people in that particular case, but there must be a reason for them. Very, I mean, out of 1 million or something may happen like this as an example for us. Completely corrupt person, that's okay, that may be the case, but we shouldn't bring 1 out of 1 million case into discussion. We have obvious result out there. Do they love the baby? Yeah. Do they know why they are loving the baby? وهم لا يشعرون. They don't know why they love the baby. Okay. A believer, perfect believer. Let's say it is a woman. Does she love the baby? Again, in the same position. Yes. Is she aware really why? No. لا يشعرون. But of course, we have free will to become aware of it or not be aware of it, saying that, Allah gave me a baby and I love it. No. Allah gave you. I'm talking on behalf of the representative of the best believer. Yeah, it is God who gave you the baby. That is correct. I agree with you, but the Quran agrees with you. But Quran says something more. Are you aware that your love for the baby is also given to you? That is another layer of realization, the truth. It means believing in God, attributing everything created by God, not necessarily results in becoming aware that your feelings also created by your God in order to get to know him better. Communicate with him, not only through the baby. You may say, oh my God, how beautiful baby you have created for me. I'm very thankful for you, etc., etc. It is another layer, deeper layer of realization. Oh my God, how beautifully you created my feelings that I automatically love the baby without really choosing it. They call it in the materialist language, instinctively love the baby. Human beings look at the language. The reproduction, they say, or if human beings are reproducing it, it's the ridiculous language, but that's how they use the language. Reproduction. Why? They want to continue their generation. Why? It's natural, man. It is natural means you happen to be natural. Why do you bother about a baby that you have to take care of for years and years and years? You have to sacrifice a lot. Why do you bother about it? وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Without realizing what they are doing. That is interesting. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. So that those people do not believe in the Creator. They practice the message endowed within them, endowed on them. They practice it, they don't realize. This is the example we are now giving here in the negative sense. How about the believers? When you and I, let's put it in this way. No, we have to realize it. Disbelievers don't realize and practice it. so they get no benefit out of it, practice it and die away, finish. But we have to realize, as a result, we have to acknowledge and confirm it, become aware of it, and be very confident within ourselves that, yes, I love the baby, but it is not me who really loves it. It is put within me and I automatically love it. Like my heart automatically works, pumps, and pumps the blood regularly. I automatically breathe. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I thought of it once and I was going to go crazy. So we said, what if it was? What it was? Sorry, the question was it? If I had to breathe with my own free will, like I eat with my own free will, yet the desire to eat is not within my own free will. It automatically functions. But breathing also, need of breathing also is automatically functions. But I eat it with my free choice. If I was created with this need that I have to use my free will in order to breathe it, I will never ever be able to sleep. I will never ever be able to do anything because I would be busy with breathing. I need now again. I need now again. You see, just the way that we are created, we are just automatically breathing without realizing, even we are sleeping, even we are fainted, yeah, still we breathe it. Even you are under the anesthesia, this complete anesthesia, not partial or local, or what I wasn't aware of anything at all for maybe half a day, 12 hours or something, maybe more. So I don't realize I was breathing without realizing at all. So these are all created in this way. That is why my lungs work and bladder work, my digestive system work, blood system work, everything, my brain works without I am realizing. They are automatic. These senses, human senses, are also given to us automatic. But what is not automatic? That's what we have to learn from this verse, especially this last phrase, وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, without realizing what they are doing. That is important. One thing is not automatic while we are using our free will in order to analyze our reality, in order to analyze what is going on in the world and coming to a conclusion whether they can happen by itself or accidentally or cannot. So if, well, it seems to be, it is not a result of accident. What is going on in me, in the world? It is impossible. Okay. It cannot happen by itself or accidentally. I understood. And so what? What happened now? How did it happen? I have to investigate it. Otherwise, Pharaoh also liked the child of his enemy, because Moses was from children of Israel, and he was killing the babies of the children of Israel. That's they say, but it needs to be interpreted in another way. That is another subject of reading the syntax of the Quran. That is a detailed matter. That's not our purpose here to study the Quran. We study the Quran for a specific purpose. What am I going to do with this message? That's so simple. So the other scholars do it, not in our case. We try to study the Quran from the perspective that is most essential for me, practically needed. I mean, dearly needed. It's very important. What am I going to do with this verse? Now, without referring to historical story context. Okay, that's what we are doing here. Now, what is the main responsibility of human beings is this. Pharaoh, the worst man on earth, representative of the worst man on earth, God gave us in the example there. Let's call it parable, let's call it story, whatever, qasas. Yeah, qasas, story. So even he loved the baby of his enemy and took him under his custody with the intention, look at the verse very carefully, with the intention to benefit from it. We may use it for our own purpose.
We lost your voice, Brother Ali.
Such a way that will follow our ideology, our way of life, our civilization. He will contribute to our civilization. Let us take it under our custody and put him in our household so that he will be grown up with this, with the values of this family hold or civilization, their culture, their ideology, their philosophy of life. But they didn't realize one thing. And like everyone, Moses also, in the example, Jesus Moses, the baby Moses also is given the message. Message is there. And at the same time, we have free will. As Pharaoh rejected the message as received from God, rejected it, Moses took the other way around. Maybe experienced how horrible a person he was. He said, I'm not going to be like him. Ruthless. Denies the realities. Denies his own his own reality. He doesn't acknowledge that he is created. He needs to be created, but it is obvious I cannot create myself. Nothing in the universe can create me and my cells in my body, let alone my feelings. Impossible. There must be a Lord of the world who created me within it in order to work within it, in order to work together with the conditions of this universe and get to know him better. Our responsibility is not to love the baby, not to take care of the needs of the baby. They are there, but Pharaoh also did it. It is not the real value. What is the real value? to be conscious of شعور. يشعرون comes from consciousness. How is it realized? It is translated as realize. Realization of the truth is left to us. Not the love of the baby is left to us, but realization that this love of the baby is given to us by our Creator. That needs to be acknowledged through our free will. That is our responsibility. Otherwise, the other things are done, practiced by unbelievers, atheists, all animals. That the real value lies there. Real value lies in realization. Of course, when you look after the baby, what your intention is, it is very simple. Your intention is very simple. What is that? The baby is going to grow up and he will be a comfort for me, and he will follow my culture, he will share my belief, my values, and he will accompany me in life. Maybe later on, he will take care of my responsibility. Maybe look after me as well. So this future hope accompanies with human choices, but Pharaoh used it for his own ideology, own civilization. A believer must use it for his own ideology, his own civilization. That is the difference. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't like my child or children to be following my ideology. Yes, I would love it. I would love them to share my lifestyle. I would love them to share my lifestyle as Pharaoh did. It is given to us, but I have to realize that this sense is given to me, presented to me by my Creator. That is the message I received from the verse 9. If anyone wants to contribute, question, or bring up another perspective from this verse, let's communicate, let's interact. So I'm just presenting to you what I understood from this verse as referring to my practical life conditions. So what is the point here? To be conscious of the source of existence of all this by using my free will, choosing to confirm the reality of it, not neglect it, not turn your back to it, but confirm it, submit it, and look after the baby and say, this is given to me by my Creator. I am thankful to my Creator to give me a baby and also to give me the sense of loving the baby, sense of taking care of the baby, sense of expecting some future as appropriate to my choice is also this wish, this hope is given to me by my Creator. So do not impose your own personal values on the baby, but try to teach him the reality that everything is a gift from our Creator. Treat him as a gift and treat him gently in order to let him know, or her, of course, let her know that this is the value you have chosen and you are conscious of it. You are aware of it. The imposition of the baby saying that, look, we are Muslims, of course, we have to pray. We are Muslims, of course. It doesn't work. Be careful. Why? Why are you Muslim? The young baby, when they grow up, they become a young person, they start questioning, they start doubting, they start comparing, because they are given these qualities. It is so obvious to me. Okay, we have to be very careful about it. So if anybody, or I will go on studying the next verse 10.
Assalamu alaikum. It is it's a very real like concept that when we are teaching our kids about the do and don'ts, like, you know, because we're a Muslim, and the answer being because you are a Muslim, the babies, when they're young, they like doing what you're doing. They're happy about copying you. But after they come to the age of like comparing, then all of a sudden, like, they want to not only stop copying you, but they want to go the other way. So when you said treat them as a gift and teach them everything is a gift. So I've, you know, for me, this has been like, I've tried to teach from the beginning. We need to pray. You need to pray. You need to pray at school. I made it a little bit difficult, hard. They had to pray at school, which brought a lot of attention to them, and that had its own baggage. And now when I meet young mothers, I mean, I'm trying to say, no, don't do that. Like, you know, that wasn't the right way. So I like hearing that you also, I don't know what's the balance. The balance is just to focus when they're young on how they're a gift, how they're loved, who the Rabb is. And then when do we introduce the rituals, like, you know, because the rituals is what I used to think is the most important thing. And at this age, you know, if I would do it again, I probably would wait with the rituals and focus on who is their Lord. So what do you think about that? What other parents think about that?
That's an open question to our friends here, participants, all of them. If anybody wants to share.
And you two are a parent.
I agree with you, Alia. Assalamu alaikum, Alia Hanan. I agree. If I had to redo it all again, I would do it the same way you're stating it.
Yeah, anybody else?
Okay, so I'm not a parent yet, but
Yet.
For example, you were talking about the automatic sense. For example, the sense of love to a child, that's automatic, it works. Now the part is about the realization of the sense. And where is that sense coming from? And to relate that sense to the one who gives that sense of liking. Just like you said, for example, breathing is working automatic. So I was thinking about that. But in love of a child, I don't think there's a free will that is used for my son. The way I tested it, it just works automatically. But now I need to realize what that purpose is and connect that to realize that this gift is coming. The sense is a gift, the child is a gift, everything is a gift, to connect it back to the owner of that gift.
Correct. Anyone else? While you are thinking, anybody open? Asifa?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, I wanted to share, while my kids are sharing the same thing that my the other sister said. So while my kids are still young, I've been taking, alhamdulillah, all these classes, and I think I've developed that maturity of better understanding, or trying to actually at least understand my purpose of life. And I put myself into their shoes now that they're so young. I feel that I should not implement any rituals on them. I should actually, my actions, I should make them actually understand from this beginning. I know it's hard, but what their purpose of life is, what their existence means, and who gave them existence. And I think, see, as they will grow, they will develop this, as I'm also in the same journey, but then the rituals will come to them automatically. That's how I feel it. I hope it helps the sisters, and definitely Brother Ali, you will give more input into that too. Jazakallah khair.
Now, I am a parent as well. I learn a lot from my mistakes. That is quite human. I am not really bothering about it, about the past. Just past teaches me, I should not do it. I should not share these bad feelings with anybody else or bad practices with anybody else. But since my Creator has taught me that they were wrong, so I have to share it with my brothers, with my sisters, with my friends, and with the human beings in general. This way of practice is wrong. So the right way, I see, like this, share it so that we will improve our conditions in this world as far as the purpose of our existence is concerned. Now the people are working very, very hard in order to make their bodily comfort very hard. Yeah, we have to take care of it, but we have to think whether we have time for it or not. That is another subject, not our subject. So we have to share the essentials of communicating, interacting with our Creator in the right way while we are practicing these life conditions, including how we are going to treat our children. So one thing, the common language I heard, I wouldn't impose. That's the right word. The prophetic example must be taken into consideration. The prophetic example showed us that he did not impose the practice on anyone, just conveyed the message. But if you like, he took it up on his own shoulders and practiced it. That's it. Showed it. What is the what is the sign of it? We have many, many revelations, narrations from the prophetic life patterns, examples. For example, one thing really strikes me most. What is that? You know, the physical appearance of the practical life of the prophet is obvious, open to everyone in the society, in his own environment. There were thousands of people living together, experiencing together. I'll come you.
Okay, just the heat's still not on. The heat is still not on.
Okay, I know.
All right, thank you. See you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Distraction. Okay, it happens. Yeah, what he did, what we received the message that he used to be the imam of the community 5 times a day. 5 times a day, with some exceptions that he is not in Medina. But they are rare cases. Generally, he was in Medina and used to be the imam 5 times a day. For 10 years. Okay. The life started in Medina with building up the masjid, where the townhouse was the masjid, hotel of the visitors was the masjid, well, a restaurant of the restaurant for the visitors was the masjid, and the discussion of the community affairs in the town hall was the masjid, praying was the masjid, preaching was the masjid, masjid, center of everything. All right, and the Prophet was there, leading the community. 10 years. You can count the number 365 days multiplied by 10, so 3,500 something, okay, times multiplied by, I don't know, 20,000. Okay, around. The people watched him praying. We didn't watch his heart, his mind, his feelings, how he felt in the prayer. No one could do that, but at least they saw the physical action of the Prophet 20,000 times. Afterwards, do we receive any firm physical action of the prayers? No. What does it mean? He practiced it, but he didn't impose anything on the members of the community. He practiced it. He practiced it himself. When he was, while he was in Medina, he was really fulfilling the prophetic mission, but at the same time, what was his profession? In Mecca, in the beginning, he was a shepherd. At the end, he was the helper of his wife. It means somehow employee of his wife. Dealing with her business affairs in Mecca. Well, it's a small town. Which kind of business they were doing? At most, we can imagine what can it be. I think he traveled once or twice towards the north Syria area, or the Diyar Sham, let's call the province of Damascus, Sham. Once or twice. It is also disputed once or twice. That's it. Anyway, but in Medina, he was the chief executor of the administration. That was his profession there in Mecca. While he was chief executor of the community affairs, he practiced what he received from God, because people accepted in Medina. Almost everyone at the end accepted that he is a prophet and he is the administrator. Whatever he does it according to what he has received from the Creator, God. So they respected him as a chief executor of the community and also as a messenger of God. No, it is doubled up, if you like, in terms of respect and authority. What he did, he only practiced physically the rules of the revelation, the rules that the revelation revealed, taught to the Prophet, only concerning the rights of the social life of the people, not personal life. He didn't interfere into anybody's personal life. He didn't interfere even the personal life of his wives. We don't receive any message correcting the behavior of his wife, his children. He had daughters. But they took example from him. Now, the obvious case is this: apart from the community rights practices, that, for example, if someone damages the society, transgresses the right of another citizen of Medina, regardless of his religious belief or status at all. He was protecting the rights of the people who were really, how to say, deprived of his life, let's say. So that is one side. There are many different examples, many examples of it, but again, the interpretation of the conditions of these practices are discussed by the scholars. It's not our subject. What is important, he never entered into somebody's house, and while he was doing something against the revelation, against what the revelation asked the people, do it. He followed this. Don't be suspicious about people's personal life. He didn't interfere. He didn't impose anything on others. If someone asked, he responded. He responded. He respected the personal freedom of using their rights in personal cases, not damaging the society, the rights of the society. That was important to know it. So when we say, I wouldn't impose it, that is according to the practice of the exemplary practice of the Prophet. But at the same time, one thing should not be missed. What is that? Yes, we shouldn't impose, but we have to represent what we believe in our personal life. In our personal life. Let our children see it. That's it. No more, no less. That's what we learn from the prophetic life. But if the child transgresses the right of his brothers or sister, his siblings, within our householding, we have to protect the one whose right is damaged. That is the way to practice, apply the prophetic example. So we have to say, look, you cannot damage it because I am responsible for the householding. You cannot damage the right of your sibling. Oh, you have to take care of your responsibility. What is that? You are grown enough, for example, to do the washing up. You have to do the washing up. You are grown enough to do the laundry. You have to do the laundry. We shouldn't transgress the boundary limits of the capacity of the child, but we have to employ the duty on the child within his capacity. It doesn't mean that impose it, but for example, you have to clean your room. Not? Okay, that is what we have to do. And because we are sharing the same householding. So you have to respect other people. You cannot really come out from your room without taking any bath so that you smell and disturb other people. No, you cannot do it. So we have to take precautions there. But as far as the religious duties are concerned, it means we say practices, rituals, we have to do it ourselves. Let them see. Let them feel free, whether they will join us or not. Impose on them is something some people say. There is hadith narrations that the Prophet ﷺ asked the community to teach their children at the age of 7 how to pray and what to do, something, how to take a wudu, make his purification rituals. All right? I understand. He has to do it. He did it. He said this, but I would say is it really the way that the Prophet treated his children? How many daughters he has? How many daughters of the Prophet was really praying? Did he impose on them? They were old. Yeah, but we know from the narration that the daughter of the Prophet, Fatima, took the exemplary life of her father. That's it. That's it. Did he impose on Fatima? We have no narration. We have no narration. What we have the narration is this. While he was speaking to a group of people openly, preaching his own message, he said, "Oh, Fatima bint Muhammad." It means my daughter. You are my daughter. You can inherit my property. Yes, it's my daughter, but I cannot protect you from God's judgment. Be conscious of him. Be aware of your Lord, what your Lord, your Rabb expects of you. Yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Being my daughter doesn't mean that you are automatically saved. No. I'm not going to make, what was the word in English? Shafa.
Is it salvation?
Intercession.
Intercession, thank you. Intercession. If you obey God, you get it. His reward. If you disobey, that's up to you. That is the beautiful, exemplary life of the Prophet. Now, we have to, of course, if they listen, while they are young, they do listen. We have to just try to approach them kindly, teach them what I believe, what I do, and why I do. Don't impose, that's absolutely correct. And I have to act in this way within my life in the householding or in my relationship with others. The children watch you out carefully. Yes, you may be kind to him, but for example, if you are running a business and you have some clients, and if you are really tough and doing something wrong, cheating or something to your clients, the way you behave, the way you speak on the phone, etc., the children really get it. They know everything from your face expression, even they don't hear the voice. They know you, what's going on in you. Children are, when they are young, they are so sensitive. Even when they are baby, they know that you are happy, you are not happy. You are treating them nicely, you are getting angry with them. At the age of not 1 year old, before 1 year old, all those people among us, there are mothers, fathers among us, and to be fathers, to be mothers also, there are among us. So we should know that they are aware of everything what is going on within our hearts. We cannot hide them from our children. We are intimately related with each other in the householding. So we have to clean our own behavior, take care of our own behavior, clean our own intention in order to get the result. and pray to Allah that, please Allah, as the prophetic example which is taught in the Quran, that ربنا هب لنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. Oh my Rabb, oh my Lord, make me one of the, let's put it in this way, practicing my salat in my life. Muqim as-salat, I will be salat performer with your help, but not only me, my children as well, zurriyati, children and children of the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, etc., all my subsequent progenies. It means that is what we can ask God, Allah, to give us, to favor us this, but we cannot impose our children. Now, the time is up. Thank you very much. Inshallah, we won't hurry. We will take our time and make sure that we benefited for our practical life. So we studied one verse.
We lost your voice.
But for me, alhamdulillah, one verse, I realized how it is related to my practical life. I'm very pleased with it. That is what we have to do. So I think we have to benefit from the revelation, God's guidance. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.